The next part.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome, everyone, and pull up a seat at the table. It's lunchtime in Rome. Tonight, we have episode 160 entitled Ethan Herr, Part 2. Ethan Herr will be with us once again tonight. See episode 109 for his first visit. And tonight, he's here to discuss what it was like to not only endure, but thrive through some extremely difficult times this past year. Do you remember your freshman year? Do you remember what challenges you faced? Do you remember trying to find where you fit in? Ethan just experienced all of that and more, so we'll be talking about all of that tonight. So pull up a chair at the table and join us. First-time listeners can subscribe on your favorite podcast app or listen directly on lunchtimeinrome.com. While there, you could take our relational needs questionnaire and make sure to follow us on all social media, and it'd be great if you could give us a 5-star review. Brian, what specifically is this podcast about?
Being alone is the worst. Good times aren't as good and bad times are worse when you're all alone. Romans 12:15 says to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. That is how you keep people from being alone and what this podcast is all about. We demonstrate that in the first 15 minutes of the podcast and talk about it for the rest. So while it may not be 12:15 in Rome, we're treating it like it is
Lunchtime in Rome.
Ethan.
It is so weird not having Brian do the opening part and Jay doing the second part.
Yeah.
I did not like, it really caught me off guard.
Well, we're in a little unprecedented territory. We've never done an episode without Jay.
We are sans Jay, which is
first time.
Weird, but good. And congratulations, listeners. It's a first for you too. So, I think I said like 3 times already. So I wanted to give a shout out to Duke, who is a regular at the table. He's been on the show twice, along with his wife Lydia, and Max, who also frequently sits at the table, has not been on the show, but I'd like to get Max on at some point.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be cool. He's a good
guy. He's a great guy. But shout out to them. We had some trees that fell over in our backyard. It's over a year ago at this point, and I know you guys were thinking a little bit of a nervous situation, but got a chainsaw and cut them down, and Duke and Max made the workload light. So did the chainsaw. But huge shout out to them. Huge help. Duke gets to walk away with some free wood, and still got a lot of work to do, still a lot to cut up, but I think the biggest thing for me is that it's just a relief off me, because like we wouldn't let Maggie play down in that part of the yard at all, because
you had some leaners.
I had some leaners, man. But I'll tell you this: so we did the edge cut or whatever, like underneath, we did the triangle cut,
right? Like the V
corner
or
cut,
V
cut. And then when I was coming down doing the back cut, on the back end of it, I was probably down to about 2 inches of wood left, and it was still holding. And there's this huge tree sitting on this other tree, and we're cutting the one that's being leaned on. Like, so all the weight was on this tree.
That's
and
amazing.
Still, I know that 2 inches of wood that we had to get through is still holding that tree. There's 2 trees up. It was nuts.
That chainsaw was probably pretty dull by that point.
No, the chainsaw was still good at that point.
Okay.
Because I kept on I was like, when's it gonna go? When's it gonna go? Like, just give it a tap, tap the chain. Because I was on the ready to back up, because it was all coming down. And shout out to my neighbor Jordan, best neighbor here. So we had looked at Duke and I looked at the way the trees were falling, and they were gonna fall and miss our neighbor Jordan's fence, Jordan and Ruby, and it did. The 2 trees missed, but they hit a branch on another tree on the way down.
Why
and
not?
That branch hit his fence. But luckily, he's so awesome. He had extra fence, and he's like a woodworker. He's a hobby woodworker, and he didn't even want any money, or he didn't even want any help.
That's
he was
awesome.
And he was done in 5 minutes. He was like, "I got it. We're good."
I want to be a guy someday who just has extra fence. I got that.
But man, best neighbor. So yeah, it was great. It was so much fun. Yeah.
Trees freak me out
Nice.
sometimes. I mean, I've cut
It's
down a lot of
It's
trees.
a lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight, and they can just go and like I've seen like we had a professional over at our house one time, and he took out the one right on our patio, and when he cut it, it was hollow inside, but you couldn't tell. So it almost went onto our house.
Wow.
And like it was almost a disaster. So like
Just not at all what he expected.
not at all what you expected.
This one was hollow. The one
okay.
the one that originally fell
Mhm.
was hollow.
Yeah.
And I kind of suspected it was gonna be, a little soft in the middle because there was that sawdust around the base of the trunk.
Yeah, like something was eating at it.
yeah.
Something. Yeah.
But oh man,
You know what you
Hands
should
down.
do? You should replant, do some have like a little apple orchard or something.
I do want to put more trees down there for sure.
Healthy young ones.
Yeah. For me, I'll tell you what, guys. I am having quite a time. I don't have good and bad this week. I have good and busy. But it's really, really good stuff.
That's good.
So, yeah, I'm on, let's see, I've been out of school for the summer for about a week and a half. Yeah, almost, yeah. And it has just been both productive and relaxing all at the same time, which doesn't usually happen for me. I'm a person who I shy I shy away from any sort of busyness, but it really has been good. Amy and I have been just concentrating on the house, and
yeah, your porch looks good.
Thank you. Yeah, we got and speaking of Jay's nephew Hunter has been over, and he
Not a sponsor.
helped us with Huntsman Projects. Yeah, soon to be a sponsor. And
You made this desk.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah. Anybody
I paid
watching?
for it. I paid for
this
it. It's not
beautiful desk.
I was just
It would have
saying.
been great. If
No, it wasn't a gift.
It'd have been great if he made this desk from the wood that you chopped from that tree.
That would be pretty.
That would be pretty
epic.
awesome.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen. So, anyways, Chris.
Yeah. No. So he came over. Yeah, Hunter came over and helped us out on our screen porch, replacing screens and building a cat ledge. And you ever heard of a cat ledge, Ethan?
I haven't.
I thought everything was a cat ledge.
Whoa, I like it.
Somebody's head, the nightstand.
Yeah. Well, this is an official cat ledge. No, it's
So
not
what does
really,
that
but-
mean? What is that?
Well, it's simply this. Our cats like to sit up on the windowsill or the sill of our. It's not really a window, but it's a screen porch with framed screen areas, and they like to sit up on what would be the sill and look out the screen. But the way we were getting the screens redone, all the sills were going to be on the outside.
Oh, okay.
So there was nowhere for them to sit. So Hunter installed a ledge, basically, which is just all the way around two sides of the porch that are on the screen sides, and it's a place for cats to sit. But it also turned out so well. We're just going to use it, decoratively. Put a few plants up there, and it's just awesome.
Basically, like a 1x6, like the whole way around.
Yeah. It's actually a little thicker. It's a 2x8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a nice. Anyway, it
Yeah,
turned out really well.
2x8.
We'll post some pictures or something if you want to see it.
Nice.
But that's been good, and just other projects around the house and planting flowers and on top of that, just Amy and I are doing really well. Starting summer together, and any transition can be kind of tough. Even you think you're both off work, and so that makes everything easy. For us, that isn't always the case. Sometimes when we're together more, it's you clash a little bit, or you're in a transition from the busyness of school to okay, what are we doing now? And just but we are, man, everything's just going really well with us. And Ben's been spending his time, well, part-time, door dashing. So he's out
really?
driving around, wasting some gas,
I was gonna
but
say,
making
losing
some money.
money.
Yeah, I know, right? Ugh. But yeah, that's been good. And
Is he doing it in the Prius?
yes, so that helps, right?
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah, it's not too bad, and he just goes to Monroeville.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of back and forth from Monroeville restaurants to places
Right.
somewhat nearby.
Has he had any negative encounters at this point?
I would say no until he came home today and just had some really weird things. Apparently power was out in Monroeville.
Huh.
Not maybe complete, across Monroeville,
It's
but
too hot.
part
too
of
hot
it,
for the electricity.
right? That's got to be, man, we're having a heat wave. But he got called to Gateway Grill. or to pick up food for somebody at Gateway Grill, and arrived, and the doors were locked, and there was a sign that says, sorry, we're out of power. So he had to contact that person and cancel that order. And then he went to Chipotle, same thing. So yeah, and a couple other it was an interesting day for him.
Yeah,
but it was good. Lily's in theater camp right now. I know Ethan's going to be talking about some theater stuff here in a little bit. She's doing Jeter's Backyard Theater, not a sponsor, maybe someday. But that, oh my gosh. Listen, you want to know how much I said to her this morning? We love you to the moon and back, because that's about how far we have to drive twice every day to take you to this thing.
Oh, so it's not like an overnight, week-long?
No, it's a day camp. She's there for 9 to 3, so basically like a school day. And but it is out, oh gosh, almost to Cranberry. And it's we got to get her there during rush hour in the morning.
Like around 8?
Yeah, up that way ish. So we take the turnpike up and over, and
you take the Tesla.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we do. But it's the first time that we've had, because we're doing that trip, there and back twice a day.
A hobbit's tale.
I'm there and back again. Nice. So I'm charging middle of the day for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Because it's 30% of the battery round trip.
Yeah.
And it's just, we want the car for other things too. So it's all right, we better plug in for a few hours. So whatever. But it's good. The busiest thing though, save this for last. As you guys know, we are getting ready for Patty's Longest Day this Saturday.
What is Patty's Longest Day, Chris?
Ooh,
tell us
Eric,
about Patty's Longest Day.
I'm so glad you asked. It is and we've mentioned it before, it's our disc golf tournament that we're holding at Deer Lakes Park this Saturday, June 18th. And it's to honor Amy's mom, Patty, who died of Alzheimer's 5 years ago. And this is the second sort of big Patty's Longest Day event. And the name comes, everybody's like, what does that mean, Patty's Longest Day? Alzheimer's Association holds a longest day worldwide event, basically, which is the longest day, of course, meaning the first day of summer. But the whole idea behind it is that, okay, we're going to spend the longest day to raise awareness and raise funds and do these things. So even though ours isn't officially, we got close. We're June 18th. We're not quite like June 20th or 21st, whenever the first day of summer is, but we're close. That's the idea, is do something that day to raise awareness. So instead of the longest day, we changed it to Patty's Longest Day.
I was wondering about the meaning of that.
Yeah.
Did she have a bad day that you want to commemorate or forget about?
It's funny, we've never talked about it in detail, but that's what it is. Yeah, it's just basically that's their sort of count, but it's been really, really good. So we're excited.
Yeah, and it's been encouraging to see the numbers grow for the disc golf
my
event
gosh.
itself. Yeah.
We had a week and a half ago, we had like when I finished school, we still had 3 to 5 participants somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And now we're up to 26.
Wow. So in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is we could hold up to 72. So it's not like we're pushing our max, but I feel like, especially compared to 3, 26 is a great number. It's a productive number. We're going to have fun. So
yeah, that's really encouraging.
I'm helping out with concessions.
Yeah, you are, buddy. What else you got going on?
Not much, really. I finished school too, obviously. So that was bittersweet, because I'm not going to be able to see my friends that I normally see. But
you're not of driving age yet.
Right.
So you got a little difficulty there.
Next year.
Yeah.
And you developed quite a diverse friend group and big friend group this year.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually been playing with one of my new friends I've made this year.
Playing
quite a lot, like video games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of different
So that's
ones.
one way. That's one way to keep in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? You're having some kind of an event tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm having people over to swim.
Nice.
So, yeah, a little swim party.
Yeah, a little swim party.
That's supposed to be super hot again.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
That is
really
good. That's where else to be on what was it today? The heat index today was 105 or something.
Yeah.
No better place than the pool.
Yep. Anything else?
Not really.
What'd you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend?
Hey, you went to some concert.
Oh yeah, I went to a concert. I went to a worship concert. Chris Tomlin and Hillsong. So that was really cool.
And then when you went home,
what did I do when I went home?
I don't know, because I wasn't there. You spent the entire
Oh,
weekend by
yeah.
yourself at home.
I went
Sorry,
to a
I don't mean to
concert,
take over your conversation. Here.
and then I went to my friend's graduation party the next day. So that was really cool.
But it is true. Like, your parents were both out of town because
They
there
were
was
both
an
out of town.
overnight concert that they went to.
Yep.
Abby was staying with
Eric and Amy.
was that the whole time?
The whole weekend.
All
No.
right, so she was with the Hammonds the whole weekend, and you were like Lord of the Manor.
Yeah, I was.
Uh,
Chalupa was a nightmare.
Chalupa the dog.
Yeah. She was.
Well,
Yeah.
So yeah, so that can segue right into me. Alexis and I did go see Goose, my favorite band in the world right now. We went out on Friday afternoon and went to Legend Valley in Ohio, and Legend Valley is the name of the venue. And it's in Thornville, which is a very small town. There's really nothing else there.
Did you say Farmville?
Thornville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Thornville. It was just I loved the band, but I almost loved the venue just as much. Like, it was just such a cool place, very, very intimate for an amphitheater. A lot of freedom. You know, we got through the gates, and Alexis and I put on wristbands, and then we parked and set up camp, and then we just were able to go wherever we wanted to go, into the venue, out of the venue. Like, it was all just kind of one big thing.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so like camp area was separate.
Yeah, but only separated by a fence. And so, I mean, we went in to watch the band, but there were times where I would walk back to our camp, and I'm talking like a 3-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost like the Grateful Dead used to, they played there before, back in the late 80s, and they packed like 35,000 people into this place. We had about 2,500. And so what they did was they had the amphitheater part, and then they had like vendors, with like food trucks and stuff. And then past that was the gate. And then the whole, basically like where other people would be dancing at other concerts, that was all camping. And so everything was really close. And there were these big, giant, life-size dinosaurs, not alive.
I saw a picture.
But yeah, they were just all kinds of little cool things. They had a bank of pine trees lit up beside the concert grounds, and they were all like lit up in color. And it was just a really, really cool experience. It was a great time to be with Alexis. And yeah, I mean, all of us my family had a big weekend. Ethan being at home, Abby over with Eric and Amy and Maggie. They went to Kennywood. Everybody went to a concert. So, you know, that was probably my news here. But we do have Ethan on here, and
I am here.
You are here, and we wanted to welcome you again.
Thank you.
And are glad you're here. And so we wanted to kind of go backwards and before we come to the present, and wanted to talk a little bit about your 5th grade experience. I want to start off with your 5th grade experience. Do you just,
Yikes.
for those of you that can't see, yeah, he kind of winced at that. Tell us a little bit about 5th grade. What were you doing? Where were you at?
I was a 5th grader in possibly one of the worst. It was a really bad school. It was called. It was it was a charter school that was just not well run. It just wasn't really good.
As a 5th grader, you felt like you could have run it better, probably.
Yeah.
And like the concept of the school was great because he had a great kindergarten experience there.
Yeah. And then 1st grade, it just started going downhill there.
But like the kindergarten, they got the kids, the students all got to choose what kind of government they wanted, and they got to have their own shops. And so Ethan was the mayor of Kindervania, or
I don't know.
I can't remember what it is. But like he had to get votes.
I was the governor, actually.
The governor, that's right. And so I thought the concept was really cool. And then like the kids would make stuff throughout the year, and then they would have an event where all the parents came and everybody kind of sold their stuff. So Alexis and I love the concept, but when it got to 5th grade, it just there was a lot of bad stuff happening. So that was probably the first time that you really experienced not feeling comfortable in your own skin. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, that was the first time I was well and truly bullied at a school.
Yeah. How were you bullied?
They would just not nice to me. They made fun of me, teased me a lot. Just altogether were not nice to me.
Mm-hmm. Not letting you just be.
Right.
Not letting you be you. Bullying is like, I know we can call a lot of things the worst, but man, bullying in its own way is the worst.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't do one thing without them teasing me about it.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible.
So it was relentless.
Yeah.
So how'd that make you feel?
Absolutely horrible. It was the worst.
Yeah. How do you think that shaped who you are now? Can you, looking back on that, how do you feel like that impacted you, and what lessons did you learn, and what decisions did you make? Like, I'm going to be this, I'm not going to be this, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do this. How did that shape you coming out of that?
I'm more wary of the friends I pick now, because back then I wanted to be everyone's friends, but now it's like they don't like me, and I don't like you.
And you have a lot of friends right now, which is awesome.
Yeah, if that didn't happen, I probably would be a lot. I don't know where that was going, but
do you think you would just kind of go wherever life took you, or?
Yeah, I wouldn't be trying to do something for myself in high school.
Yeah, well, and I think, like, not to say anything good about bullying, but the one thing it does is give us a little bit of thick skin so that we can weather other experiences later on in life.
It literally builds character.
Yeah, and those are some tough times, and it does definitely hurt, for sure. And it's it's okay to be selective on who your friends are. That's okay. We want to be open, honest, and vulnerable, and feel comfortable with the people that we make friends with and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So that totally makes sense, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was curious about that because in 6th grade and 9th grade, I had 2 friend groups that just completely turned on me. And it was tough at the time, but it set in motion just a course of things that really put some deep hurts into me that continues to affect me to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like I just like you, Ethan, I have a really high need for acceptance and a really high need for appreciation and respect. And so I think it's interesting when I look at your relational need, when I look at your emotional needs, to know that you went through that in 5th grade. I went through something similar in 6th and 9th grade, but I think you're handling it and reacting to it a lot more healthy than I did. And so I wanted to, just applaud you for that. So, as you continued through 5th grade, 6th grade, talk a little bit about that journey. And when did you start really getting confidence and, figuring out, like you said, that you wanted to do things for yourself?
Well, when I came to the school district that I'm in now,
Penn Hills. Let's be proud of Penn Hills.
Yeah, Penn Hills. When I came to Penn Hills, the middle school had a musical, and I was like, why not? Never done anything like it. And then now in 9th grade, I got a lead in the this year's musical.
Yeah, you did.
And play.
Little Women.
Little Women. It was a really good experience. And yeah, back in 6th grade, I just didn't know what to do, so I joined musical, made some friends, got through the year. Same thing with 7th grade. And then 7th grade is where I really started to get a little bit of confidence.
Wait, were you in a musical in 6th grade?
Yeah, Once on This Island.
Oh, that was 6th grade.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There is definitely something to be said for like finding your people. You know what I mean? Like, and it's hard. Like, I definitely, as an elementary teacher, I teach kindergarten through 5th grade, but we say all the time how, man, 5th graders, they maturity wise / I don't know, maturity might be that's a stretch, but like the hormone changes and all the things, like the social things that their minds are on, they fit so much better in middle school. You know what I mean? Like in that realm. And if we all think back to middle school, I mean, middle school is
the worst.
There is no
It's the worst.
other time where there is so much judgment and like categorization and like just this whole, and I mean, I'm speaking to, when Ethan, you're talking about being bullied like that, it's middle schoolers especially have a hard time dealing with anything different than themselves, I think. You know what I mean? They're trying to find their way.
Right.
And
trying
hopefully
to figure out who they are.
Right. And so hopefully it comes out positive in the end, but
Right.
it's such a struggle. It's such a, there's so many hurts. I know when I was that age, for me it was actually 7th and 8th. 6th was okay. 5th okay too. Anyway, 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
Horrible bullying. And just like Brian said, affects you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Especially, and Ethan, maybe, you're a little lucky in this respect because you're growing up in an atmosphere where emotional and relational needs are sort of at the forefront. You know what I mean? With your family and some of your friends and all of us. And without that, oh my gosh, it sticks to your core,
Yeah.
and forms who you are.
Think about how many kids, your age or in middle school, that deal with that all day at school, and then come home and have parents that might not be there, or they've checked out, or that environment is toxic and full of fear and fighting. Like
there may be no safe haven.
Right.
Yeah.
Is 9th grade at the high school now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you notice like a huge shift in people's attitude in your grade going from 8th grade into 9th grade?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell because I was in the same room at the same desk, not talking to anyone the entire day in 8th grade. But from 7th to 9th, absolutely.
Okay.
They treated people a lot better. They were a lot more mature.
Yeah. I remember that too. Like, I mean, it was 9th into 10th.
Yeah. Me too, actually.
Well, because middle school went to 9th grade and it was 10, 11, and 12 at the high school. So like, I think there's a couple things that happen. I think reality kind of hits some kids over the summer, but then like you're also the new fish in the school. Like you're not at the top anymore. So everybody's a little bit more timid and like trying to feel everything out, and everybody's a lot more cooler. Like high school is so much, it's crazy how much better.
It's not, Ethan, the silver lining for you is that
the worst
as you get old, the worst is probably over, right? Because the older you get, the more people are chill and like they just want to be themselves. They're gonna let you be yourself, and it's
and the more perspective that you yourself have too.
Yeah.
You've been through battles and
you have that thick skin, and that's good. And also, I wanted to point out, so Ethan, your emotional needs, the couple of the highest ones you have are acceptance, and approval / belonging. And I think, it's got to hit you. Like being bullied, I think, offends a lot of people. Another one is respect. So like being disrespected by bullying. I know, Brian, you have a high need for respect. So if you were bullied, that's being disrespectful, and that sucks and hits you, and it's definitely a hurt. But doing the approval, belonging, like with all the musical stuff, I think like getting in there, like that's got to feel good, you know. And you got some leads, you got the respect of getting a lead.
Yeah.
So like I can see that like the musical is definitely like your wheelhouse, because it's hitting a lot of emotional needs that you need fulfilled in a really healthy, good way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I made a lot of friends through musical this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Before we get into the musical, though, because I do want to talk in depth about that, but I wanted to. It just hit me. 5th grade, you were very much into video games still in 5th grade, right?
Still am.
Right. Still are, but in 5th grade, were you involved with 3DR, 3-day respawn at that point? No.
I mean, in kindergarten, you gave me like these little plastic card things to give to people about 3DR.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's when we did our
in kindergarten.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, he was the governor. So.
That's right. Of Kiddlevania.
But you weren't in like a clan or anything with 3DR yet at that point.
No.
Okay. Because I was just wondering, like, well, so when did that start? Because so for those of you that don't know, Eric one of his brainchilds, along with a couple other people. They have something called 3D Respawn, and it's basically a safe haven for online gamers to connect in an environment that is
Family friendly.
friendly, pretty free from toxicity and stuff like that. So, when did you started to get involved with that?
I don't know. I can't remember exactly when, but I was playing with Eric, and then he was like,
It had to have been around 6th grade.
maybe seventh
Okay.
or 7th to into 8th grade, maybe.
I would say that's 7th sounds right.
Yeah.
Getting more involved.
Yeah, and then he sent something to the Discord, and he was like, I was playing with him and Matt, and then he was like, hey guys, check this out. I just sent it to the Discord, and I was like, what Discord? And then you invited me to the Discord, and then that's when I really started getting into 3DR.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think my point is, I think something like that has been really healthy for you, maybe even in ways that you haven't known, because to speak to what Eric was talking about, approval, belonging, Eric bringing you into that environment, and even in some cases giving you some responsibility and, being a moderator. I think that could be something that helped you to find an acceptance and to find a belonging that, maybe I like, and not to compare our hurts or anything, but maybe I didn't have that when I went through that kind of stuff. So, how's being part of 3DR? What does that mean to you?
I've met a lot of great people through 3DR. I have like a bunch of friends down in Georgia, actually, that I play with sometimes. Yeah, I've just met a lot of great people, play video games with them.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, it's interesting. Like where you can meet somebody anywhere, and I know like that sounds like, like duh, like that's been around for a while,
Right.
But like we were kind of the first generation of that. Like me and you, like the older guys here, of like playing online games with other people. Like, but it's still interesting that you can befriend somebody, in many places and just hop on and play a game like they're in the other room. It's really cool. And
I'll speak as like sort of an outsider to that, in that I've done a little bit of online gaming, but never, like I was too old to be like, oh, I want to socialize with these people. I want to, and like Ethan, you're calling some of them friends, which is really cool, but like I did not have that. So to me, that still sounds new. Like, oh yeah, okay, so you're not only online gaming, you're in an online community of gaming, you know?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
It's important, especially. I mean,
it's good to be around healthy people.
The whole point of 3DR.
That aren't toxic. Because man, there's some toxic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I've seen some stuff.
So yeah. I remember that the promo video that Justin Boothby made, and like there's this kid just every other word's beep beep, and somebody from 3DR asks him, "How old are you?" and the kid's like 9.
Oh yeah, it's wild, dude.
Yeah,
it's wild. Yeah.
It's just like, and I know we've beaten this horse, but like it's social media. Like it's just so easy for young kids to get on there and just do whatever they want.
Well, and it's easy for parents to just let it be the babysitter, and they have no idea like what's going on.
Do you feel like we ever let that be the babysitter for you?
Not really. You guys are usually pretty good with checking up on me.
Yeah. And we wanted to raise you to be able to. I didn't want to ever have to come down and say, I'm going to take your computer.
Yeah.
You have to learn to manage yourself and, recognize how much screen time you've been on. And if you feel, like you're getting all balled up inside, to step away and read a book or something. And I think you've done that really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I never hit my desk or my chair ever.
You mean like at 11 o'clock when I was going to bed last night?
Rage quitting.
Oh, you know what? One day a couple weeks ago, his computer didn't turn on. And
that wasn't because of me.
Oh, no?
No.
What was it?
I don't know, but it wasn't me.
Okay, so his computer just all of a sudden wouldn't turn on. And so I checked changed out cables, changed out the power strip. And I was about to buy a power supply, and then all of a sudden magically it came on, and I was like, that was weird. And then the next time he slammed his fist on the desk, I was like, oh, okay. He's probably jiggling something loose in there.
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
And it's not my fist. It's like my wrist.
The palm of your
Yeah,
hand.
like right here.
Uh-huh.
Clearly,
Surprised I haven't broken this bone yet.
the point is moot because it wasn't his fist.
Right.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
his.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Surprised I haven't
Aren't you
broken
glad
this
you
bone
came
yet.
on here to get picked on?
Yeah, yeah, it's
and
awesome.
bullied.
Yeah.
That wasn't over in
Bullied.
5th grade. It's now.
So what is besides community? What else does gaming provide to you?
Well, like most of you know, I'm really into lore, and video games and their lore is just so interesting. It's like a whole nother world that I can just read into and just waste hours upon hours of researching the
What
lore.
does that mean to be into lore? So you're talking literally about like the gaming universe of a certain.
Yeah, like Destiny, for example.
Okay.
If you ask me almost any question about Destiny, I could 100% answer it.
Yeah.
I've spent so much time on the lore.
What's crazy, you know the lore about Apex Legends, which there's no story. Like there's no, I mean there like is, but like it's not really. But like you could ask E about anything about related to Apex and he could tell you like the backstory to any character, even though like it doesn't really exist in the game, but like they'll write about it in other places.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like
Apex Legends is just a multiplayer online, battle royale shooter. Like
right.
It's not like an adventure with a storyline and everything.
But there's a fan-made universe of backstory.
No, like they write stuff about.
Oh, it's official.
Yeah, it's like official, but like I never read that. Like, nerd alert.
They have like these comic things that you can get.
Yeah.
And I read those.
Ethan actually reads them.
Yeah.
All right.
They're pretty cool.
Hey man, kudos to you, man. I love it.
Cool.
Well, and that goes for a lot of things. I mean, Star Wars. You ask, especially like the second trilogy, like the bad ones,
the prequels.
Yeah, the prequels.
So bad.
Yeah.
The prequels are great.
See,
because he knows all the backstory.
He knows all the backstory to that, and
it's awesome.
Some of the books, series of books you read.
And like I am excited to see, like all the side stories that are coming out now, like Mandalorian and
Mandalorian was great.
Obi-Wan.
I haven't started.
The new
Obi-Wan.
episode dropped today.
Yeah.
Oh, it started already?
Yeah.
I got to get on
Hayden
that.
Christensen was so much better in this episode.
Okay.
He was really good.
Wait, he's in it too?
Yeah.
I knew Ewan McGregor was in it.
He's in the suit of Darth Vader.
Oh, fun.
And guess who voices Darth Vader?
I'm going to guess James Earl Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Somehow this podcast is getting real nerdy.
Yeah.
That's okay.
No, but it is cool, and like I know that's something that you're super interested. But I like how I feel like all like the cool side stories that people like Ethan are into, and they've like they're developing that into like actual good content, like good like actual programs.
Yeah.
Because like I have no desire to read, pages of extra story. That's just not me. But
right.
But what fascinates you about the lore?
I don't know. It's just
you just like it.
Yeah. It's like a whole. It's like books.
Yeah. I love
reading books.
And I don't like reading books. So
well, I think it helps to add the layers to the main idea. Where a lot of main ideas kind of stop short. I think getting into the lore gives you a much deeper understanding of that main story.
Oh, absolutely.
So what are you on right now? What's your? I mean, we just finished Supernatural.
I still have
I'm sorry, not Supernatural.
There's season. Are you on season
Stranger Things?
Season 83 of Supernatural?
No, actually, I'm on season 113.
I meant Stranger Things. You just finished that, and you, like you said, you're on to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are you excited about?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what's coming out soon that I can be excited for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Stranger Things, I heard this is only like half a season.
Yeah.
They're going to drop the other half at some point.
Volume 2 is
While
coming
we're on
out
vacation.
on July 1st. While we're on
Okay,
vacation.
well, there you go. Be excited about that.
Which is great because the way they ended Volume 1, it's like I can
no
almost
spoilers.
Not wait. Oh yeah, no spoilers. I can almost not wait.
Have you watched X-Files?
No, I haven't.
I tried to get him into it and had him watch like he watched like half an episode.
No, I watched the whole episode because you wanted me to watch it because there was a person who was a lead in Supernatural in it.
Oh, that's right. Fire guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Fire Guy.
Yeah.
I actually met
I remember
him.
Fire Guy.
Ryan.
I met him.
No.
He was cool.
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
met him
you
at
met that
the
actor. That's right.
Yeah, Mark
That's cool.
Shepard.
You went
Yeah.
to Supernatural Convention, right?
I met
Was that
Misha
last year?
Collins, Mark Shepard. Cannot remember whoever plays Chuck in
man.
Supernatural.
You're
I
slacking.
can't remember his name.
Well, he's not going to be a sponsor.
Well, we can talk about
anytime
nerds.
soon.
We could talk about nerd stuff all night. At least I
Yeah.
could.
I definitely could.
But yeah, so musical did great. New friends, which is awesome.
Yeah, 9th grade year was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
that. Let's talk about this year.
Yeah.
I had what the kids call nowadays a glow up, where I look a lot better than I did. in
Oh,
previous
interesting.
years.
All right. Is this your personal opinion?
Yeah,
Are you...
and it's a lot of other people's opinion
yeah,
too.
sure. Yeah. Love the beard, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was actually a Dare to Do It by Bella Mitlow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 15-year-old son has a better
Now-
beard than Sidney Crosby's playoff
Oh,
beard.
for sure, for sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the bet was to the end of the school year.
Yeah, she
You
still
deci-
owes me $20.
You've decided to keep it. It looks
I
like.
have.
Oh,
That is
Bella
awesome.
Mitlow, Ethan's calling
There
you
you go.
out on the
Yeah.
pod. You owe him.
20 bucks,
20 bucks.
Bella.
And then Joe still owes me 10 for caddying over
Oh,
the disco
You
trip.
get paid
Oh,
for that?
man.
Nope, not yet.
Bro.
Oh yeah, we'll get on those Mitlow children.
We're
for
gonna put
you.
it on site, man.
Joe's jealous of my beard. He can't grow it.
Better than Sydney and Joe. All right.
So you finished 9th grade,
I
and
did.
you finished strong academically, right?
Yep, all
Tell us-
straight A's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised to see it because I wasn't. I mean, I had a mid-tier B in geometry, but when I looked at the final grades, I had
Mhm.
all A's, including geometry, which was a 90.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you,
not-
you just squeaked over
Yeah.
the rim there.
I must
Yeah.
have done well on the final.
What's your favorite subject?
Man, Spanish is cool.
Hmm.
I love English. Math is also cool when I actually understand it.
That's
Science-
the trick right
Science
there.
is cool.
See, I actually like geometry. I was like, hey, shapes.
Yeah, geometry.
it.
Geometry is the best math I've ever taken.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
So you've exited 9th grade. You're heading into 10th in a couple months. But
Mhm.
no, listen. And there's no pressure. You don't have to know what you want to do. But are there any certain things that, even if it's, I guess Eric already said, like, well, what's your favorite subject? But forget subjects for a second. Like, we know you're into theater, right?
Yep.
What else are you into? Okay, so you're into gaming. Anything else that you're like, oh, I wonder if I want to do that someday?
Filmmaking.
Oh, okay.
I really want to try that, or
Yeah.
like being in a movie, like which is acting. But I want to try making my own movie,
Yeah.
or like making my own universe of something.
Hmm.
I'm writing a book. I want to do a movie. And yeah, I'm joining video production next year.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully
That's
I can
cool.
learn more about that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
We should hook you up with Jeff Jackson at church.
Yeah.
His son Ben studies or studied filmmaking and has made like
Mm-hmm.
independent things and obviously school projects, like college project. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you guys would have some good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your universe? Do you care to divulge?
I just want to make something that's my own and I can like manipulate however I want,
Mhm.
because I feel like it'd be really cool to do.
Yeah, and you started some books.
Which is like 8.
Have you
That's okay.
finished one?
No.
That's okay though. That is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Farthest
It's
I've
tough
gotten-
to finish.
Yeah, farthest I've gotten on one is chapter 8,
Okay.
which still isn't bad.
And your
Not at
writing's
all.
really good. Like the stuff that he's let me read is really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have an idea for what your universe would be?
Just something like
Sure.
Well,
Nailed it.
like a high fantasy would be cool.
Like Kindervania.
Like a dark high fantasy.
Governor.
Yeah, Governor of
All
Kindervania.
right, we're gonna get nerdy again for a second, but
Yeah.
define high fantasy.
It's like Lord of the Rings.
Okay. What's low
Narnia.
fantasy? Or is there no such thing?
There is. I just can't remember the.
Like
Definition of it.
you mean like entry level fantasy? Is that what low fantasy is? Like,
I don't know. Like
because
Or like My Little Pony. Is that low fantasy?
no, that's a good comparison.
It might be,
It's
to
not.
be
It's
honest.
not bad.
Honestly,
like,
it might be.
Yeah, because like Lord of the Rings is deep.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's like
Lord of the
endless
Rings,
lore.
Narnia. I really want to make up my own universe that has really deep lore because
Yeah.
nerd guy.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but that's, I mean, it's to create your own universe like that. That can be kind of a lifelong project. I mean, obviously, you have to make a living doing whatever, but that can, even if it's a passion project, that can be something that you absolutely, and you don't need the answers right now. It can develop over time. And so that's really cool. I want to go to your musical experience this year because we've hinted at it, we've kind of talked about it. But what was the moment where you knew that you could do this?
What do you mean by that I could do this?
That the stage wasn't too big for you? Because I don't think I think when you came out on stage, you were very comfortable up there.
Yeah.
And even before the musical, you had done the 2 plays.
Yeah,
Check
I did
Please
do the play.
And Our Place.
Yeah.
And I thought you and Bella both significantly took over the stages when you were, especially with Our Place.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what moments did you have where you said, okay, I can not just do this, but thrive doing this?
Well, I don't know. It was just, I kept acting and acting. Practice is key.
And when? Because I never saw you. I never heard you sing.
I never did at home.
I know. When you started singing on stage, it just blew me away because I'd never heard you sing.
Right. It just, I only practiced at school during rehearsals.
Wow.
Yeah. And we were just practicing and stuff, and it just became easier and easier to do and just act.
Yeah, you guys did have a lot of repetition. I mean, you practiced forever for that musical.
Started in December. No, January. We had auditions in December. So January to end of April. That's like 4
there you go.
months.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So back in like 7th grade or 6th grade, whenever you like did it for the first time, how'd you feel back then? Did you feel confident back then?
I was terrified of singing in front of people back
But
then.
what about acting though? Like what about like just
acting was fine.
You're okay.
I love acting. That's why
Yeah.
I did the plays, to get like more
Yeah.
more experience and more confidence.
Sure. Yeah. And then I couldn't sing in front of somebody.
I couldn't either.
I can't either.
And nor do I want to. That's why I play the drums.
Right. Yeah, if someone asks me to sing, I'll be like, no, I can't sing. But like if it's a real production, then
Yeah. If you put some more time into it, man, like you'd be. Yeah.
I don't have a voice coach. If I got a voice coach, I feel like I'd be really good.
Yeah.
Well, and you are too next year taking show choir, which I think is
Yeah.
going to be.
That'll be a big help
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
that'll-
nice.
Absolutely.
You'll learn different techniques.
Look at you.
and-
So you're doing
yeah.
show choir. You're doing filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. Good
I
for
did
you.
digital photography this year.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah. I loved that. I loved that class.
Yeah.
That was a really cool. The teacher was awesome. He was really cool. He was a good teacher. He was just chill.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Mr. S.
Now,
But you learned a lot.
I did.
at the other end of your interest spectrum, you were an all-star hockey player this year.
I was. Yep.
Tell us a little about that. You're a goalie guy like your dad, right?
Yeah, I am a goalie guy. Hockey is just something else. It's a fun sport, but there's a lot to it.
Sure.
Like, I played goalie because I didn't want to run.
Just like your
Okay.
dad.
That's exactly why I played. And
That's why I would pick goalie.
I
if
wanted the
had-
most protection.
Yeah.
I tried out forward, and I actually did play forward for an all-star season once. But me and the other goalie switched because there were two.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I just couldn't do it. Fun fact: in one of my in-house seasons, me and one of the guys on my team switched positions. I went out into center and played the ball, and I scored a goal.
In his full goalie
yeah,
request.
in my goalie. equipment.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
feat.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've never scored a goal.
It was 5 minutes before the last period ended. End of the season, we were losing 8-1
Gotcha.
or 8-0.
Hail
And
Mary.
then I went out there. It was so slippery. I fell, and then I eventually ended up scoring a goal.
There you go. Not a shutout.
Not a shutout.
Saved the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was invited to play on the All Stars, and with everything else he had going on, he bowed out of actually being in the.
okay.
Because it was also a traveling deal, you know. So there would have been this summer would have been a lot of travel and a lot of long weekends,
but the honor of being selected is still there.
Yeah. Speaking of, where's my uniform for that? Like my forward uniform.
Oh, it was given away to somebody. We should get that back.
Yeah, I think we should.
We'll talk about that.
So wait, are you doing hockey? So you're not doing hockey this summer?
No.
Are you doing hockey again?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've been playing for 5 years.
Yeah.
So you
6
enjoyed
years.
it, but maybe not as passionate as the theater.
Yeah, theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Video.
You're
Yeah.
also
I
considering
get it.
cross country, aren't you?
Yeah.
Wait, you
Oh, is
just
this
said
like
you didn't
peer
to run.
pressure? You don't sound like.
I hate running, but this is my friend's last year. He really wants me to join it.
Oh
Dude,
my.
I will say this, man. From experience, I really wish I would have been involved in some kind of sport to keep
Yeah.
me physically fit. when
I
was
won a
kid.
Letterman too. That's a big point in why I'm considering cross country.
Okay. All right.
Because if I did it, I would commit and get the Letterman.
Well, and dude, it's gonna keep you super healthy.
yeah,
It'll be good for you.
it definitely will.
Yeah.
Now you're
he's
talking
in-
about wanting the jacket.
Yeah, the Letterman jacket.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they're awesome.
Gotcha.
But he actually wore his for our place. In
Oh,
play.
for the play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
cool.
yeah.
Do you feel the musical crew that you're in meets your sense of belonging and acceptance?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Everyone that's coming over tomorrow, I met through musical except Bella.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're all from musical. They are all great people.
When do you feel not accepted? Are there times where
I would say, yeah, and not to be. I'm gonna play Jay.
Yeah.
It would be a proof of belonging, because acceptance is if you do something
or
wrong.
that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, because just for the listener's sake, acceptance is if you do something wrong, you need to be okay with whatever that person
Right.
did. So,
approval.
yeah, proof of belonging.
Mm-hmm.
So where have you struggled with not finding approval?
When other people that they no longer, they're everyone else is in a little group of their like best friends, and I just don't have anyone to talk to, and I'm like, oh, I'll go into the dressing room and do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the dressing room,
Where's this going?
after one of my scenes, I waited the standard 10 seconds for them to turn my mic off.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
They didn't turn my mic off. So I went into the dressing room and I was like, anyone changing in here? And then everyone on stage heard me. So when they were giving awards away at the at the last show, they always give awards away. Backstage, the cast members all do it.
Yeah.
They gave me the anyone changing in here award.
That reminds me of the Naked Gun. Do you guys remember the Naked Gun?
yeah.
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 I love Naked Gun.
He walks into the bathroom and he starts peeing.
Oh,
and,
right. And his mic's on. Yeah.
It's like the mayor of Los Angeles. Can you hear him?
That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that's fun that it could have been one of those dark moments.
Oh, it could have been
Right.
so much
They
worse.
could have made fun of you, but they actually joined you and
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
silly with it. That was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And the directors didn't care. They thought it was funny too.
yeah.
They
That is
could have
funny.
been like, you have to wait. And I would have been, I did wait. You didn't turn my mic off.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was so careful after that specific scene.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
after any other scene, just that scene. And I always waited and I was just like,
Tap it.
and 3 other times they didn't. And I waited there for 20 seconds just,
Come on, sound crew. Sound.
Yeah.
yeah. It was the
No
worst.
sound.
That-
Too much
that was
sound.
annoying. But they didn't do it during the show.
So how did you feel after everything was done with the musical, and as you're standing there on stage getting the applause? What's that like? What's that like for you?
It is just fantastic.
Mm,
Just
yeah.
hearing everybody clap for you after you put so much work into the production. It's just something
You
else.
feel very appreciated.
Absolutely.
Well, and you should because you guys have put in so much work. I would hope that people appreciate. I know I did.
Yeah.
And I don't even like musicals, so
Mhm.
there you go.
Yeah, I got 3 more years left of this.
I'll be at every one.
Yeah, you will.
Well, one night of
Right.
every music.
Right. You'll see everyone. You'll see
I'll
everything.
see everyone
Yeah.
that you're in. That's a promise.
Nice. Well, as we get ready to wrap up, I have one question. What
Wow.
are you right?
I know.
I know the
was
time
like,
flies.
Yeah, wow.
But
Jeez.
what are you looking forward to most as you enter summer here? And I don't even want to make you look ahead to school yet. But what's your summer look like?
Just hanging out with friends, hopefully. Just going places with them, hanging out with them. Them coming over to swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Nice.
the best.
These are the best years of your life.
Having the pool, friends over at the pool. We're going to North Carolina.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Mr. Paul Peachy, my godfather, always said to me,
Brian.
and his kids,
Oh, the Godfather. Okay.
but he would always say, I remember him as his kids as young teenagers came out of their musical productions, because they were all involved with the musical too, just telling them and everybody in that kind of in that musical crew, these are the best times of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And don't minimize that. So these are the best times of your life. And I just want to personally say that I am so proud of how you've taken ownership to yourself this year, to your life this year. You juggled a lot. You've juggled. Ninth grade was a major transformative year for you.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of the way that you handled all of the different responsibilities, graduating with straight A's. Yeah, I mean, good stuff, man.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that, when it comes, this podcast is about emotional needs. I think that we can pretty much tie all your emotional needs to how you're succeeding right now in
Mhm.
life is awesome.
Yeah.
And you're getting your emotional needs met, and you're ahead of the game, man. Head
Yeah.
of the game.
Ethan, would you like to drive us home to the end of this episode?
I would be honored.
Yeah.
That's it for episode 160. Please make sure to give us a like or a follow on social media and visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com. While there, take our relational needs questionnaire. Thank you for joining us at the table for Lunchtime in Rome.
Bye.
See you next week.
Patty's longest day.
Subscribe.